Hello, 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 hello. You guys already know I am super excited to be on here live with you where we are going to be talking about how it is that you can start to show up more authentically, personally and professionally. First things first, can you guys believe that it's already October? Like we're flying through mid-October right now, right? And the reason why we're truly having this chat today is because I know a lot of you women are in a space where it's going to be very important that you put yourself in a space where you can be more confident, right? I happened to be on YouTube earlier this morning and I was watching a girl's energy reading, and I saw a lot of you ladies in the comment section where you were just feeling like it's your time to create and grow your dream business, right? It's your time for you to be in a space where you feel better personally, where you feel better professionally, where you start to see the opportunities for growth inside of your life. And I want to be the one to tell you that this is totally possible for you. Like, totally possible for you. But I must also be the one to let you know that if you're in a space where you still plan to like stay stagnant, and when I talk about staying stagnant, I'm talking about staying in that same comfort zone that has you where you used to be, please do not expect to go into the new year, right? Thinking that something is going to change, because it's truly going to be the same, right? So, in today's live, we are going to be diving in deep where we're going to be talking about how it is that you can start to show up more authentically, okay? So, let's dive a little bit deep about like what authenticity looks like for you. We're going to talk about it personally and then we're going to talk about it professionally, okay? So authenticity really means like you're in a space where you recognize that nobody else can do what you're doing the way that you can do it. Hey, Sonya. And when we really start to dive deep into showing up authentically, what it means is that you're in a space where you are no longer trying to compare yourself to the left or to the right with the person who may be doing the same thing that you're doing, right? And oftentimes it's the lack of us being in alignment with the reality of how authentic we are that prevents us from moving forward, right? So, of course, in this social media space, we see many people doing what it is that we're already doing. And while on one side of the coin, it may empower us, right? You might say, wow, I wish I could do what it is that she was doing, or wow, I wish that I was where she is, he or she is, right? But I want to ask you, how does that stop you from being authentic? Right? How does the energy of comparison really put you in a standstill mindset, right? Because while you can see and have the desire to do what it is that somebody else is doing, instead of putting the energy on yourself of you wish you were in that same place as them, how about asking yourself, how is it that I can do the same thing that they're doing, but in a more authentic way to me? Right? So authenticity personally looks like you reevaluating what makes you different, right? What makes you stand out inside of the crowd, okay? For me, if I talk about a little bit of authenticity, what I recognize is me being bald makes me more authentic, right? Even though there is a lot of us beautiful bald-headed queens here in the world, me being bald makes me authentic, right? Me wearing glasses makes me authentic. Me being a woman who's willing to stand up and speak about confidence, personal confidence, professional confidence, financial freedom, the ability to travel, the ability to live inside of a different country. For instance, my husband and I just moved to Belize last month, right? So we no longer live in America. We now live in a different country. This is something that makes me authentic. So what I'm asking you today is, when we talk about showing up more authentic in the last quarter of the year, what makes you authentic? What makes you become that person where when somebody says, I want to work with Lynette, I want to work with Sonya, I want to work with her, What is the authenticity that really allows you to connect with your audience? Because I'm going to be the one to tell you, it's not your accolades. It's not the fact that you have a master's degree. It's not the fact that you work in this top position at the company. That's not what it is, right? One thing that I help my clients dive deep into seeing is that your authenticity comes from your personality traits, right? People want to know, if I work with Lynette, is she kind? Is she personable? Will Sonya actually care about me and my family, right? If you already have clients, if you are already in a space where you see growth inside of your business and you're trying to figure out how it is that you can show up more authentically in your business, go back and ask your past customers, your past clients, hey, Lynette, when you and I work together, I'm just curious. What is it that you really enjoy working with me about? What was it, right? Because I know I could help you do this and I know I can help you do that. But what was it that made you pick me out of the crowd? See, sometimes we are looking for God to take us to the next level, and you can't even get to your next level because He wants to bring you outside of the crowd, but you're so busy trying to stay in the crowd. You so busy trying to look like what she looked like over here and what she looked like over here. But what makes you unique? What makes you authentic? What's different? What's bold about you? What can you start to do that makes you shift, that makes you stand out, and really make someone say, I want to work with her? Right? So, this is authenticity from a personal level. Oftentimes, we want transformation professionally, but we forget that you got to take that professional corporate hat off and you got to ask yourself, who am I personally? What do people love about me personally? What do I love about myself personally? Right? I know you guys are like looking like, why she keep looking down? It's because I'm on YouTube as well. So we're doing dual recording today. You know, two birds, one stone, knocking it out, right? But I want you to take that. So that's your first homework step after watching this live, okay? Asking yourself today, what are my unique gifts, skills, talents that my ideal client will enjoy working with me on? Okay, again, take the accolades off. Take the, oh, well, I don't have a master's, or I don't have a PhD, or I don't have this certificate, or I don't have this training. I don't work with plenty of women who are so much more qualified on paper than me. But because I know how to tap into you personally, the accolades don't make a difference. So that's your first homework assignment. What are your gifts, skills, and talents personally? Now let's talk about authenticity professionally. Let's dive in over there, right? Because again, I know that you want to make a shift. You want to make a change, or as my business is called, you want to create and grow your dream business. I know that's your goal. This is what I help women do, right? So let's talk about it from a professional standpoint, because I've been finding a lot of conversation that I've been having with you ladies is that you're stuck in your 9 to 5 job and you can't seem to shift professionally. And of course, like we just talked about, it's because you haven't started making the shift personally. But let's go to you professionally, right? What happens when you have played this professional role for so long is that professionalism in the corporate world is a very masculine energy. Okay, if you recognize, there's a lot of structure, there's a lot of strategy, there's a lot of methodology that happens when we go to work these corporate jobs, right? And so you're asking yourself, how can I develop personally? But you're feeling stuck because you can't seem to get out of the rigid structure that comes with the environment of trying to grow personally. I got you covered. Don't even worry about it, okay? What I want you to start doing professionally is to start making connections on a deeper level that can help take you to another level professionally. So let me break that down on a layer deeper. Okay, you might see Sonya's name on here if you ladies are watching, but I'm going to use Sonya and I for example. Sonia and I used to work together for this company called CarMax. You've probably heard of them, Fortune 100, 500 auto finance company, right? And at this time, I was young, maybe like 21 or somewhere, 22, somewhere around there. And I knew that I did not want to just stay here at the company. I knew that there was a calling over my life. There was something more for me, the same way you're feeling like there's something more for you. You're just trying to figure out how to make the shift professionally. So here's what I did. Instead of being inside of a space where I was like, oh, I got to immediately move up, or I got to immediately get that position, or I got to immediately get another certification or another training. I saw Sonia, right? It started with me seeing Sonia. And when I say I saw her, I want you to start to look out for people who resonate with you energetically, professionally, right? And maybe their energetic vibration seems to be a little bit higher than yours, so it may intimidate you. Sonia was already in a leadership position, and I was in like a regular employee position. But I reached out to Sonia and said, hey, I see your energy. I see how you're operating. I see how you carry yourself, and I'm impressed. When was the last time you gave someone a compliment and said that you were impressed by them? When was the last time you looked at somebody versus just seeing them as competition? When was the last time you actually went to that person and gave a compliment and said that you are impressed? I like the way you move. I value your values. When was the last time we had that conversation as women? Because see, sometimes we want the door opened up for us, but we haven't opened up the door for ourselves, right? Sometimes we're expecting for all the gifts to just come inside of our hands, but your hands work as well, and a compliment is free, right? So, what I want you to start to do professionally is when you're in your role, whether you work in the corporate or whether you're already an entrepreneur, I want you to send somebody a DM who you're impressed by, simply giving them a compliment, right? Talking about the value that you see in them that makes you feel impressed. Because here's the reality. Life is a mirror. Growth is a mirror. Personal development is a mirror. So anytime you see something great in somebody else, it's because you have the ability to have that greatness inside of yourself as well. But if you don't acknowledge it in others, it's going to be very hard for you to acknowledge it within yourself. Right? What you will also find is that once you start to open up the door to other women, and the reason again why I use compliments, because people love compliments. It's an easy way to connect. Like you can be like, girl, for instance, I love when people tell me that they like my hair. I don't even have any hair, right? But I understand what they're saying. So when women come to me and they say, hey, I love your hair, I understand that what they're doing is complimenting my beauty. And they're using that as a way to open up the door of a means of communication. So if you're looking for a way to show up more authentically, communication is going to be key, right? But we can't expect for people to just come to us and want to communicate with us. You got to start communicating with people forward face. So maybe that's going to be another challenge for you, another opportunity, right? And even Dr. Cindy Trim, Sonia and I love Dr. Cindy Trim, but that's Auntie right there. Dr. Cindy Trim she talked about opportunity. This was like back in 2022, where she talked about opportunity, and she broke down the word opportunity, meaning that it really does mean for someone to come together, people to come together with a combined energy for unity. Right? So sometimes we're looking for, yes, Lynette, she said she loves Cindy Trim, so we love her. She gives a good word, right? So what we're looking for is a new opportunity professionally to show up more authentically. What's the better way other than for us to connect? Right? What's a better way for us to show up more authentically in our business in the last quarter of the year than to simply network? I know that sometimes we get caught up as entrepreneurs where the first thing we're looking for is the dollar. We base our success off of how much money did I make this month? How much money did I make this week? And while that is a good way, don't get me wrong, it is a great way to gauge how well we are doing financially. I want us to start to ask ourselves, how well are we doing personally? How well are we doing professionally? How well are we doing in our communication skills? How well are we doing in our community skills? When was the last time we opened up the door for someone to feel comfortable enough to say, I want to connect with Sonya. I want to connect with Lynette. I want to connect with China. When was the last time we really showed our authenticity to the point where someone was open enough with us to say that they want to connect? I remember like watching that movie like Bad Girls. And do you ladies remember like on that movie like or Mean Girls where like girls probably wanted to be their friend but they automatically gave off like that rest and be faced? I want to ask you, when you go on your social media page, does your page just look like maybe like just straight up business, or does your page look like just straight up family? Or when someone goes on your page, do they have the energy, do they get and sense the energy that this is someone I want to connect with, right? Q4 honestly is going to be about us building community within ourselves and with others, right? Because the new year is going to come, and all of you ladies are in a space which in your business where people need your services. They need what it is that you have, right? And we all know too, Q4 of the year, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas, New Year's, all of this is the time where people enjoy spending money. But I want to ask you, are you automatically giving off that vibe inside of your business where people know, instead of me buying a new television for my bedroom, I'm actually going to give Lynette my money because I know she can help me? Right? Instead of blowing all of my money for Christmas, am I actually going to save my money? Am I going to talk to Sonya so she can actually help me reach my 2024 goal of buying a rental property? Right? All of that comes from people automatically being connected with you before they're ready to spend the money. And that connection has to come from authentic vibes, right? When we work together in the Create and Grow Your Dream business of mine, what you find is that I can give you business strategies all day, right? I can give you engagement strategies all day. I can give you connection strategies all day. But it's all going to boil down to the women who you're willing to show up as, right? And now I want to ask you, who are you showing up as earlier this year, and how do you plan to show up as a higher version of her next year? Because the new year can come and you can have the same desire. But if imposter syndrome is going to keep us stuck in not taking action with us moving forward, what's the point of us even wanting more for ourselves, right? That's what we're talking about today. It's taking our authenticity to the next level. So I've been doing some chatting. If do you ladies have any questions, comments, concerns? I got a little more stuff to talk about inside of this video, but I did want to take a pause and see if you had any questions in particular about showing up more authentically personally or showing up more authentically professionally. Like, what are some of the struggles that you're facing? What are some of the like energy blockages that you may feel yourself going through? I'm gonna look on YouTube too and see if any ladies leave any questions or comments on there either, because I do got one more thing I want to talk about really quick before we hop off. I didn't want it to be too long, but I knew that this is going to be a good chat. Lynette, it's so nice to connect with you. I'm so happy that you were able to jump on this live today. Once I get off the live, I'm going to send you a DM so we can connect more one-on-one. Hey, China, thank you for hopping on. And Sonya, thank you for hopping on as well. I'm truly appreciative of you ladies, as always, for coming to support. She said, I want to show up authentically, but I don't want to just post to post. Okay. And that's really good. And that's something that we talk about when we work together as well. Okay. So let me ask you this. And you could type in inside the comment section really quick. Who do you help? Right? Like, who do you help? What do you do? Like, what are you offering? What is it, a product? Is it a service? Who is it geared towards? And China says, same as Lynette. I really want to do better at posting with the purpose. Okay. So I'm gonna have to do a podcast episode about that. Okay. Just dropped a new podcast episode today. right? Create and Grow Your Dream Business podcast. The podcast episode today is the number one way to avoid imposter syndrome. But I'm going to do a podcast episode today called Posting with a Purpose. Thank you for that, China. Lynette, let me know who you serve and how you serve. And China, I'm going to address what you got going on because you're already a past client of mine. So I know how to help you right now. And Lynette, you let me know in the comment section who you serve, how you're serving them, and I can help you right now so that you can show up more authentically. So, China, here's your thing. Here's your shift. Here's how you can show up. You already have some really great goodness, right? And what happens when we go through a good sprint of starting, and then we go through a sprint of stopping, and then a sprint of starting, and then a sprint of stopping, what happens is you forget your value. You forget that when we work together, you forget like all of the good things that I taught you how to do. You forget how I taught you how to show up. You forget that you already hosted workshops where women loved coming to connect with you to learn more about self-awareness and accountability and boundaries and consequences, right? So now that you're in a space where you're ready to start back posting on social media, you just have to go back to doing the things that were working, right? China, you just want to go back into a space where you review the content that was already hitting and just repurpose that content, right? Maybe you posted a piece of content and three girls commented under it and said, wow, this was great. And maybe you did it in a reel. So now this time, what you do is you go and you say like, hey, I know you're struggling with being more self-aware, and that's causing you to not be able to attract the healthy relationship that it is that you're looking for. Here's 3 ways that you can start to do it, right? You start to talk about the same methodologies that had already hit. You go back to talking about your same things. The thing is just going to be repurposing content. Sometimes you feel like you want to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to take what already works and just do it again. It's like how you had Zai. You already got one baby. You're about to have another baby right now. You didn't forget how to be a mom to a newborn baby. You just haven't had to do it in a while. But you know how instinctively you know how to go back and put that energy back into a newborn baby. Look at your business now that it's not a newborn baby anymore, but you might feel like you're back at newborn baby stage. But as soon as you put your training wheels back on, you're going to be right back riding. All right. So tell me if that helps. Lynette says, she said, I help high performing women. That's great. Release physical and mental weight due to unhealthy relationships with food, alcohol, and men. Okay, so she says, I help high performing women release physical, mental, and emotional weight due to unhealthy relationships with food, alcohol, and men. Okay, so first thing, Lynette, I want to know, do you have a methodology that you're working through, right? Because I see that you said physical, emotional, and mental, right? And so when I see PEM or MEP, or however it is you could do those letters around, it makes me think that maybe you could start off with like creating a methodology that you can teach through. For instance, I helped China develop a methodology that she calls the ABC method. She's a self-awareness coach. So she helps women with her through her ABC method, which is accountability, boundaries, and consequences. So when she creates content, her content is simply going to be centered around accountability, boundaries, and consequences, right? So it sounds like your content is going to be centered around the physical, mental, and emotional weight due to unhealthy relationships with food, alcohol, and men. So if you want to start posting some purposeful content, your content should sound something along the lines of, hey, I just say queen, so I'm just going to use queen, but of course you can word it however it is that you want to, right? You can say something along the lines of, or you can start posting content that sounds like this, right? Hey queen, I know that 2024 is coming up and you're in a space where you know you want to release that physical weight that you've been harboring onto all year. What I also know is that in your mind, you think the physical weight can't come off because you think it's only coming from food. But what if I told you that it's not only coming from food, but it's also coming from the mentality that you have around the food you eat, the alcohol you drink, and the men that you date? Right? So, what I want you to do, Queen, is I want you to take some time today and I want you to reevaluate yourself. And I want you to ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, if you had to release any, oh, I would say 1 to 10. I would say like, I would say, so Queen, I want you to ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your high quality food intake? On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you know that you need to stop drinking so much alcohol, right? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your ability to attract the right partner to you, right? So that could be a piece of content that you could give her. Another way that you could go towards this conversation is you can say, hey, Queen, what if I told you that the real reason why you aren't dropping that physical weight is because you don't see the correlation between the food that you eat and the weight that you're gaining? Or, hey, Queen, what if I told you that you don't see as high valuable as I know that you are, and I know you're high performing because you're at the top position inside of your job, you're making the top money, and you're performing very well, but yet you can't seem to figure out why it is that you keep attracting these low vibrational men? It's because of the emotional weight that you have on you. So here's 3 ways that you can start to drop the emotional weight that's causing you to feel overwhelmed. Lynette, I will also say too, I will also implore you to write down some of those emotions that the women are feeling in reference to the weight that they have on them, right? And that way you can gain a little more like clarity on which arena does she really want to drop the weight in. Are you helping her? She said, where do I send the offering? Look at that. I want to ask you too, which arena do you really help the woman with? Is it the physical weight? So like if we work together, you would help me lose weight? Or is it the mental weight? So do you actually help me mentally release these? Or is it more of the um emotional? Like are you helping women, or your high performing women? Is the transformation physical? So like if you and I work together for 3 months, am I going to lose physical weight? If you and I work together for 3 months, is it more of a mental transformation? Or if you and I work together for 3 months, is it more of an emotional transformation? What's the result that I will get back from knowing that I am high performing, I do have a food, alcohol, and men attraction problem? What's the result part that I'm going to get back from you? This was good. She said, where do I send the offering? I actually have a special going on. As you put that in the comments, please let me know what's the transformation. For the next 5 days, it is a hot special. It's a hot special, okay? It's a hot special going on right now, where I have a membership that I'm offering, which is normally $100 for us to work together every single month. It's a lead in into a business intensive that I offer. China is actually one of my previous clients. Sonia and I have worked together as well. And I have a trial period going on for $21 for 21 days. And we will meet once a week. And it's basically a small low ticket offer for you to be able to see what it'll be like for you and I to work together if you wanted to work together long term. So, the business opportunity is called the Business Confidence Academy. So again, it's a special that I literally just launched in the email today. So $21 trial for 21 days, and we'll meet once a week in a group environment where I'll be helping you gain more clarity on this. So if you would like, I can drop you the link once we get off here, and I would love for you to join in where the sale is going on now, but the doors will officially open on Monday. China says love that because China know how good this is. Okay, she said the transformation is both physical and emotional. I think you should start leading with that. I'm gonna check out your page once we get off the live, but I'm gonna check out your page so that way I can get more of an understanding of exactly who it is that you're helping and how it is that you're helping them, and then I can, of course, like I said, help you get some more clarity. But I do think that, Lynette, your homework should be writing down the current emotions that you know your ideal client is going to be dealing with in Q4, because she has some emotions coming up, right? If she overweight, she gonna be screaming new year new me in a couple days. And she gonna be looking for somebody to help her. If she overweight, she gonna load up on that plate on Thanksgiving. And she's gonna need somebody to help her, but she's not correlating in her mind already that that plate that she's going to load up on Thanksgiving is automatically going to hurt her in 2024, right? She's not seeing that. You got to know, again, Lynette, she has some internal, I'm asking for you to do your homework, write down that internal pain, because you already know Christmas time coming up, and she gonna be looking for that man that's not really her man to get her a gift for Christmas. And you and me and China and Sonya, we all know he not gonna get her no gift for Christmas. She gonna be sad. How will your content reach out to her and say, sis, I know you're sad that man didn't get you no Christmas gift, so instead you went out and ate at the buffet today, but you don't know that that's hurting you even more emotionally. But I have the solution for you, right? You and I both know that Valentine's Day is going to be coming up. And if my good sis did not start working on herself emotionally, she's going to be traumatized, because she's going to be expecting that same man that didn't get her nothing for Christmas to get her something for Valentine's Day. And it's not going to happen. We know it's not going to happen. We've all been there. But if you can't speak to her internal pain that she's facing, she's not going to know that you're going to be the one to help her. Okay? Trying to say, gotta let her homework. She said, gotta let her homework, because the homework get deep. The homework gets deep. Y'all, this was a great training. Lynette, I'm going to follow up with you, because I really need to know who it is that you're helping, because the transformation that you're offering, you're in perfect timing. You're in perfect timing. She said self-love would be a good form of content to go with the women that you are helping, for real, because that's really all it is, right? The woman can be high performing all day. She can be a beast at her job, but like we talked about earlier in the conversation, showing up great at a corporate environment is very masculine, and women don't understand that. Society then kind of got us thrown off anyway. We feel like as long as we make a lot of money, then we just straight. But Lynette, what you're really teaching is women to be more feminine in their self-love energy, and then that will immediately correlate to them looking better physically, feeling better emotionally, thinking better mentally, so that way, they can walk more inside of their purpose. So yes, like China said, it's really self-love. And Lynette, I'm so happy that you were able to hop on here today, because it's showing you, even though this is our first time meeting, that this is the power of the community that I'm creating. When we work together, as you see with China, like all of the women, they pour in, like we show up. When we're inside of that environment, it's nothing but love. And we love coming on here for these type of trainers, because you never know who's going to jump on and give you more ideas and tell you what's great and help you with your clarity. So this was really great. Like I said, Lynette, I'm going to follow up with you. China, I'm going to be looking for your content to come right on back around. I'm actually going to go on your Instagram page, and I'm gonna get on there, and I'm gonna get to looking, and I'm gonna get to liking, and I'm also gonna be looking inside of your Facebook group to see when is the next time you are hosting your Build Your Boundaries workshop. Because remember, when you did your other workshop, you got so many compliments on it. You got so many women to show up. They stayed the whole time, and they wanted to know how they could work with you. So you already know the methods work. You just got to do the methods. Okay. I love you ladies so much. It's nothing but love in my heart, always and forever. Lynette, stay tuned in for a DM with me. And China, I will also be reaching out to you as well. Thank y'all so much for hopping on here. Share it with a friend. And if you have any questions, shoot me a DM. But until next time, I will see you ladies later. She's gonna hang Instagram up, but watch the Facebook group for sure. I can go for that. You know I can go for that. You're welcome, Lynette. Thank you so much for hopping on today. I'm going to shoot you a DM right now. Did y'all catch that, YouTube? Did y'all see what that was, YouTube? That was really great. Okay. So if this is your first time connecting with me over here on YouTube, this shows you that only thing you have to do is show up for yourself and others will show up for you. Now is the perfect opportunity for you ladies to be inside of a space where you see that now more than ever, you can really start to take charge of your life. You can really create and grow your dream business. The opportunity is truly there for you to be inside of a space where you can see that you don't have to live that same mundane life. You don't have to stay at that same boring job. You can really be inside of a space where you want to grow and the universe wants to connect with you to grow. So, if you have any questions, put a message down inside the comment section. And if this was good for you, share it with a friend. I'll see you ladies later.